There are times in life when you may feel a certain discomfort or an uneasy feeling when you are around someone. On the surface, everything seems fine, but deep down, you know something isn't right. It could be jealousy, a subtle emotion that creeps into another person's soul, triggered by your success, joy, or happiness. Jealousy is one of the most difficult emotions to control, and one of the easiest to conceal. It can break relationships, create a divide between people, and even erode trust. But how can you recognize the subtle signs of this jealousy? And more importantly, how can you deal with it calmly and wisely? In this video, we will delve into 13 subtle but unmistakable signs to recognize when someone is secretly jealous of you. And beyond just identifying it, Stoic philosophy will help us find a way to confront this jealousy, not with anger or disappointment, but with calmness and understanding. Because once you realize that you cannot control other people's emotions, protecting your soul from negative influences becomes the key to living a peaceful and free life. Let's explore together, not just to recognize these signs, but also to train our minds to maintain peace in every situation. Join me on this journey by leaving a comment. I am ready for this journey, and turn life's challenges into opportunities for growth and development. Number 1, they are happy when you fail. When someone rejoices in your failure, it is not merely a sign of jealousy, but also an expression of an insecure soul lacking compassion. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we realize that such reactions are clear evidence of their blindness in perception, as they equate their happiness with the suffering of others. So, why do some people find joy in your misfortune? Consider this. What is that person truly feeling? Could it be that their joy is not a reflection of a jealous soul, feeling relieved when others struggle, as a way to conceal their fears? They fail to see that every time they take pleasure in your failure, they lose a bit of their tranquility, for constant comparison only brings suffering and emptiness. For example, think of the story of Jesus Christ, who was rejected and betrayed by those closest to him. Even though he brought only love and salvation, there were still those who rejoiced in his suffering. This illustrates that jealousy can arise even against the most holy and noble beings. Yet, Jesus did not allow this betrayal to define him. Instead, he chose forgiveness and love, a profound lesson in inner strength, which Stoic philosophy continually advocates. In life, you may have encountered similar situations. A colleague who always seems pleased when you make a mistake, or a friend who cannot hide their smile when you face difficulties. But through Stoic philosophy, we learn to view these situations with clarity. We understand that their reactions cannot harm us unless we allow them to. Instead of worrying about others' jealousy, focus on maintaining your resolve and nurturing your soul with calmness, like a clear stream undisturbed by stones thrown into it. Number 2, they don't like it when people say nice things about you. In life, you may have encountered situations where compliments directed at you made someone else feel uncomfortable, even envious. They dislike it when others speak well of you. Why is that? It's because the latent jealousy within them is surfacing, a negative emotion that, if left unchecked, can erode the value of important relationships. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly, and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature." When someone cannot feel happy about the compliments you receive, it reflects their negative and deprived thinking, not only toward you, but also toward themselves. For instance, imagine a colleague who always seems distant and indifferent whenever you receive praise from your boss or other co-workers. They may not say anything outright, but their expressions and attitudes reflect discomfort. Instead of sharing in your joy, they feel hurt by your advancement. This is not just a sign of jealousy, but also a warning that they are allowing negative emotions to dominate their thoughts and actions. When dealing with such people, apply Stoic philosophy by maintaining peace of mind and not letting others' negative emotions affect you. Ask yourself, can I control someone else's emotions? The answer, as Epictetus reminded us, is no. The only thing we can control is our reaction. The best course of action is to remain compassionate and empathetic and continue living with sincerity, without letting yourself get drawn into the whirlpool of jealousy and negativity. Number 3, they look over your work carefully. Have you ever felt that someone seems overly focused on your work, scrutinizing every minor detail? It could be a colleague or a friend you thought was close, but who always finds a way to analyze everything you do, not to help, but seemingly to find faults. This behavior might stem from hidden jealousy that they can't admit, rooted in deep-seated insecurity within them. There's a saying that reminds us, if you are unhappy, it is not because of external circumstances, but because of yourself. This quote serves as a wake-up call. When someone is jealous and tries to find flaws in your achievements, it doesn't reflect your worth, but rather your own. They may feel threatened by your success because it highlights the shortcomings in their own lives. But should you be concerned? As Jesus taught, so in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. Keep your soul pure, not allowing their negativity to taint your joy and success. Imagine a colleague who always points out small errors in your reports, or a friend who offers constructive criticism that just diminishes your accomplishments. These situations are common in life, and it's easy to feel hurt. However, with a Stoic mindset, view these as opportunities to strengthen your mind and soul. Instead of reacting with anger or disappointment, see it as a challenge to overcome. As Epictetus wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By adopting this approach, you maintain inner peace and continue on your path without being swayed by others' jealousy. Now, let's move on to sign number 4. But before we do, I have a question for you. Have you ever shared your joy or success with someone, only to see them quickly shift the conversation to their achievements? Instead of congratulating you, they feel the need to assert their worth by boasting about their accomplishments. This is a clear sign of underlying jealousy. They can't bear the light of your success because it dims the fragile self-confidence they're trying to maintain. Number 4, when you tell them something good, they talk about how great they are. A truly strong person does not need the approval of others any more than a lion needs the approval of sheep. Vernon Howard. When others respond to your success by elevating themselves, it reveals their inner weakness. They cannot accept your moment to shine without feeling threatened, so they seize the opportunity to showcase themselves. Do you recall the story of the Pharisee and the tax collector in the Bible? The Pharisee stood and prayed, self-satisfied with his virtue, while the tax collector humbly bowed his head, seeking forgiveness. Jesus emphasized that true humility is far more valuable than self-righteousness. When someone constantly talks about how great they are, it is not a sign of confidence, but of insecurity and a lack of humility. In life, you may encounter people who always steer the conversation back to themselves, no matter what you've just shared. Perhaps you mention a successful project at work, and they immediately start talking about an even bigger success they had in the past. Don't let this discourage you. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true value lies not in how others perceive us, but in our own self-control and inner calm. So, can you maintain your confidence and joy from within, despite the negative reactions or boasting of others? How will you choose to uphold your self-worth without being affected by those who do not truly celebrate you? Share your stories and insights in the comments. Number 5. They give you false accolades. Have you ever received a compliment from someone who felt insincere, as if it was merely a facade for hidden jealousy? A fake compliment is not just a sign of insincerity, but also a reflection of the deep internal struggle of the person giving it. They may lack the courage to admit their jealousy, but are unable to bear the fact that you are more successful or shining brighter than they are. A typical example in life is when a colleague seems to praise your work, but their words are always accompanied by comments that make you feel uncomfortable. They might say, "Your report is impressive. I don't know how you managed to pull that off. But are you sure you checked all the small details?" This compliment, under the guise of respect, actually carries doubt and a touch of sarcasm. Jesus taught, "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." This means that when faced with insincerity, we should not respond with disdain or anger, but with love and compassion. Inner peace does not come from battling the negative emotions of others, but from maintaining honesty and sincerity in our souls. So, when you receive a fake compliment, don't let it shake you. Instead, ask yourself, where does my true value lie? And continue to live according to what you believe in, because that is what truly matters. Number 6. They are very good at copying. Have you ever noticed someone around you trying to imitate every detail of your life, from the way you dress and speak to how you work? This behavior might leave you puzzled, wondering why they act this way. However, behind this mimicry often lies an unspoken emotion they may not dare to admit: jealousy. When someone is dissatisfied with themselves, they often try to replicate what they perceive as admirable in others, hoping that this will help them conceal their insecurities. Imagine you're working hard on developing a personal project that you're passionate about. Suddenly, an acquaintance begins a similar project, nearly duplicating your ideas and methods, yet without acknowledging your contributions. They might start using phrases you often say, sharing thoughts you've previously expressed, or even posting content on social media that looks exactly like yours. These actions can leave you feeling frustrated, even betrayed. However, remember that Jesus taught us to forgive those who trespass against us. And this teaching serves not only to free others, but also to liberate ourselves from the burden of resentment. Sometimes this mimicry stems from a desire for recognition or insecurity about their abilities. They fail to realize that imitating someone else cannot replace the need to discover and develop their own identity. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, reminded us that everyone has their journey, and when someone tries to copy you, it's often a sign that they haven't yet found their path. Instead of reacting to this mimicry with annoyance, See it as an opportunity to practice patience and compassion. Stay true to your path. Focus on your personal growth and allow others to find their way rather than trying to live your life. We're halfway through our lesson today, and your presence has been a great encouragement for us on this journey to bring the true values of Stoic philosophy to more people. So, please like and share this video to spread these lessons to your family and friends. Or leave a comment saying, "I cherish my life," if you're ready for the next 7 signs on this journey. Number 7. They don't care that you did well. One of the subtle yet significant signs of jealousy is when someone shows no interest in whether you've done well or not. They not only seem indifferent, but may even ignore or overlook your accomplishments, acting as if your efforts don't matter. In Stoic philosophy, this lack of concern reveals a soul that has not yet achieved tranquility and peace, and does not understand that the success of others does not diminish their worth. The question here is, why do some people find it so difficult to acknowledge or care about the success of others? Could it be that they are haunted by their failures? Or are they afraid that recognizing your success will somehow diminish their value? Stoic philosophy teaches us that a strong soul is not shaken by the successes or failures of others. Instead, they focus on improving themselves every day. Consider a real-life situation. You've achieved major success at work or completed a challenging project, but a close friend doesn't offer a single word of congratulations and even seems distant. This might leave you feeling disappointed, but remember that both Stoic philosophy and the teachings of Jesus remind us that recognizing and encouraging others does not reduce our value. On the contrary, it helps us grow in spirit and soul. Instead of feeling disheartened, remember that recognition doesn't always have to come from others. Focus on the values you pursue and the joy that comes from achieving your own goals. When you understand that others' indifference cannot diminish the value of what you have accomplished, you will find peace and freedom in your soul. Continue to walk your path with pride, knowing that your success does not depend on others' acknowledgement, but on your self-improvement and loyalty to the values you hold dear. Number 8. They are too competitive for their good. Have you ever encountered someone who always views you as a competitor, even when you have no intention of competing with them? These individuals could be colleagues, friends, or even family members who seem to prioritize their gain above all else and are willing to do anything to surpass you. They might try to outshine you at work, or even in social relationships, just to prove that they are better or more deserving. Consider the life and career of Thomas Edison, the great inventor of the 20th century. Edison is not only famous for inventing the light bulb, but also for the fierce competition he faced throughout his career. One of the most notable examples is the rivalry between him and Nikola Tesla during the War of the Currents. Edison was adamant about promoting his direct current DC system, while Tesla supported alternating current AC, a superior technology at the time. In this competition, Edison did not hesitate to use various methods to undermine Tesla and discredit AC. He went so far as to launch campaigns aimed at eroding public trust in AC. This clearly illustrates how personal gain-driven competition can lead individuals to engage in dishonest or unethical actions. However, from the perspective of Stoic philosophy, Edison's actions may reflect deep-seated insecurity. Instead of focusing on improving his technology, he became obsessed with defeating his rival. Had Edison spent more time refining his inventions, rather than solely focusing on competing with Tesla. Perhaps both could have collaborated and brought even greater scientific advancements to the world. Remember, true success is not about defeating others, but about overcoming yourself, surpassing your limitations, and living a life of value. Maintain your calm and patience, and focus on developing your true values. When you do that, the competition from others becomes meaningless and cannot affect you. Have you ever heard negative things said about you by others and wondered why they would do that? When someone speaks poorly about you behind your back, it's not just a negative action, but a deep reflection of the insecurity and jealousy they harbor within. They may feel threatened by your success or happiness, and instead of confronting their own emotions, they choose to diminish your worth with malicious words. Number 9. People talk about you behind your back. A notable example in history is the life of Jesus Christ. He faced countless criticisms and slander from his opponents, even from those he had helped. Yet, instead of responding with anger or retaliation, Jesus taught us about forgiveness and compassion. This teaches us not only to overlook the hurtful words, but also to seek to understand and forgive those who speak them, for they are truly harming themselves. In modern life, we can see many examples of famous individuals who have been maligned but have remained calm and continued to succeed. Think of Oprah Winfrey, who has faced slander and criticism throughout her career. Yet she has always maintained her self-belief and not allowed negative comments to affect her life. Instead of responding in kind, Oprah chose to focus on building a solid career and becoming a source of inspiration for millions. Don't let gossip or slander rob you of your inner peace. Live with forgiveness and focus on what truly matters. Malicious words will fade away like the wind, but your calmness and wisdom will endure. We're curious to know, how do you maintain your composure and focus on your core values when faced with slander? Can you turn these challenges into opportunities to practice forgiveness and elevate your spirit according to Stoic philosophy? Share your stories and insights in the comments. Number 10. They make a point of giving bad advice. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. Jesus. This is a reminder that not everyone has good intentions, and distinguishing between sincere advice and advice with malicious intent is crucial. Epictetus, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, reminded us that not all advice is trustworthy. Before acting on any advice, we need to listen carefully and thoroughly consider the motivations of the person offering it. Those who give poor advice often don't care about your well-being. They simply want to prove that they know more or aim to lead you astray. Consider a real-life scenario. A friend or colleague advises you to pursue a career path they know is not aligned with your skills or passions. They might do this out of jealousy of your potential, hoping to prevent you from succeeding. Or they might suggest abandoning a promising project simply because they fear you will surpass them if you succeed. When you realize you've followed bad advice, don't be discouraged. Instead, view it as a valuable lesson in cultivating discernment and self-reliance. By doing so, you'll not only protect yourself from harmful intentions, but also become stronger in making decisions for your own life. Recognizing the motives behind advice and understanding that not everyone has your best interests at heart will empower you to navigate your path with greater confidence and wisdom. Have you ever encountered people who seem to take pleasure in placing obstacles in your path? These individuals could be colleagues, superiors, or even family members who appear to go out of their way to make your life more difficult. They might create complex situations, add pressure, or even deliberately hinder your progress, all in an attempt to challenge your abilities. But why do they behave this way? Number 11. They love to make things hard for you. Indeed, the obstacles that others place in our way are not the real issue. The issue lies in how we respond to them. People who intentionally make things difficult for you often do so out of insecurity or a need for control. They believe that by complicating your path, they can retain power or diminish your value. But remember, this behavior doesn't reflect your true worth. It simply reveals your weaknesses. Consider the life of Martin Luther King Jr., the great leader of the civil rights movement in the United States. Throughout his struggle for equality, King faced countless barriers and resistance from those who sought to maintain injustice. They enacted unfair laws, organized violent acts, and even threatened his life. However, rather than being discouraged by these challenges, King persisted and used these very obstacles to propel the movement forward, turning them into a catalyst for progress. Don't let the obstacles others create discourage you or change your direction. See them as opportunities to develop patience, resilience, and wisdom. Keep moving forward, because it is in these difficult moments that we truly discover our inner strength. So, when you face people who intentionally make things harder for you, how will you choose to respond? Will you let those obstacles discourage you, or will you turn them into opportunities for growth and affirmation of your worth? Do you have the confidence to predict your answer? Comment below and let's discuss. Number 12. They cut you off in a roundabout way and change the subject. In Stoic philosophy, Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say." This reminds us of the importance of listening with patience and respect. When someone interrupts you and intentionally changes the subject, they are displaying a lack of interest in what you are sharing, or perhaps they are uncomfortable confronting your success, thoughts, or emotions. This behavior could be a sign of insecurity or jealousy, as they may feel threatened by what you are expressing. A common example that many people can relate to is during group meetings, when a member constantly interrupts others, bringing up irrelevant points, or suddenly shifting the topic. They might do this to divert attention away from you, avoid acknowledging your contributions, or simply because they don't want to recognize the value of what you're saying. Remember that what we hear from others is opinion, not fact. This means that their disrespect should not shake your confidence or sense of value. Continue to express your opinions and share your feelings calmly and steadfastly. While you cannot control the actions of others, you can always control how you respond. This is the strength of a Stoic soul, maintaining peace and not allowing the negative actions of others to disturb the tranquility of your mind. Number 13. They try to take part in your success. You've likely noticed that when you achieve a certain level of success, there may suddenly be people who appear and try to share in your accomplishments, even though they had little to no involvement in your efforts. This is a common phenomenon, especially when your success begins to attract attention and admiration from others. These individuals may try to ride your coattails, not because they want to share in your joy, but because they seek to gain a portion of the benefits that they haven't truly earned. There is nothing more noble than living in a way that others wish to benefit from your achievements. This suggests that, at times, people will attempt to leverage your success to elevate their status, rather than putting in the effort themselves. They may show up after you've overcome the challenges and begun to reap the rewards, and then try to create the impression that they were part of that success all along. Consider a modern example. When a startup becomes successful, there may be individuals who previously had little or no involvement in its development, but suddenly try to take credit once the company gains recognition. They attempt to associate themselves with the success they did not contribute to, seeking to bask in the reflected glory. This can leave you feeling used and disillusioned with certain relationships. However, Jesus taught us, "So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you." This encourages us to act with kindness and not let bitterness take root in our hearts. Even if others try to insert themselves into your success, remember that you are the one who worked hard to achieve it. Your dedication and effort are things that no one can take away. When you notice others trying to claim a share in your success, don't let frustration dominate your thoughts. Instead, focus on continuing your growth and self-improvement. True success is not just about reaching goals, but also about how you respond to life's challenges. By maintaining calm and kindness, you protect not only your achievements, but also the purity and strength of your spirit in all circumstances. When we recognize that someone might be secretly envious of us, the important thing is not to confront or judge them, but to maintain calm and compassion. Stoic philosophy teaches us that others' negative emotions cannot harm us unless we allow them to. Remember, envy often stems from pain and insecurity within individuals, and we should face it with patience and understanding. In life, success is not only measured by what we achieve, but also by how we respond to challenges from others. By applying Stoic philosophy, we can maintain tranquility, confidence, and a pure heart, no matter who might be secretly envious of us. Continue on your path with patience and kindness, for ultimately, true peace and happiness reside within your soul, not in the opinions of others. If you enjoyed this video, please comment 1 to let us know, and if not, comment 0, so we can improve our content to better meet your expectations. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our upcoming videos on Stoic living and personal development.